some of us were embarrassed, if not frightened, but what appeared to be the return of the biblical giant called Goliath.
Can you hear me, Goliath the giant? I am ready to fight.
Are we having a return of Goliath to our midst, who threatens the extinction of other countries?
He urged his United States counterpart to recognize the values of unity, peace, cooperation and togetherness, and not the promise of damnation.
Damnation we shall always resist, no matter whence it comes.
Our new executive order will cut off sources of revenue that fund North Korea's efforts to develop the deadliest weapons known to humankind.
The sanctions target all individuals and companies that do business with the rogue regime, including trading goods, services, and technology. And in a surprising move, the president said China's central bank has ordered its other banks to cut off North Korea. Mr. Trump has been pushing China to get tougher for months. Still, the president's combative language.
Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself and for his regime.
Prompting North Korea to compare him to a dog barking. The rogue regime has escalated tensions by testing 22 missiles since February, including a nuclear bomb in recent weeks. Late tonight, North Korea's state-run news agency released this photo of Kim Jong-un as he called the president mentally deranged and threatened to tame him with fire.
Today, as part of our continuing fight against communist oppression, I am announcing that the Treasury Department will prohibit U.S. travelers from staying at properties owned by the Cuban government. We're also further restricting the importation of Cuban alcohol and Cuban tobacco. These actions will ensure that U.S. dollars do not fund the Cuban regime and go directly to the Cuban people. Big difference, really. We're also imposing strict sanctions on the dictatorships of Nicaragua and Venezuela. We brought criminal charges against Maduro for his narco-terrorism.
Calling it the Wuhan virus.
China has total control over the World Health Organization. We have detailed the reforms that it must make and engage with them directly, but they have refused to act.
The president has been angry about China's trade practices since before he took office. The protests this week in Hong Kong over Beijing's decision to extend security powers there has added to that anger. Hong Kong has had a special relationship with the US, but the president wants to punish China and says Hong Kong's special status is no more.
My announcement today will affect the full range of agreements we have with Hong Kong, from our extradition treaty to our export controls on dual-use technologies and more, with few exceptions. We will be revising the State Department's travel advisory for Hong Kong to reflect the increased danger of surveillance and punishment by the Chinese state security apparatus.
The president also announced he was imposing sanctions on Chinese and Hong Kong officials.